Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be going over the next to last British battleship, that being HMS Lion. Now this ship was going to be built and I believe she was actually laid down, but she was soon canceled since the war materials weren't available and also battleships were quickly being outpaced by carriers. But this is how she would have been. She's very similar to the King George V. However, instead of having 14-inch guns, she has 16-inch guns. So let's take a look to see what kind of stats she has. We have 80,200 health. We have 34% torpedo resistance, which is actually pretty decent. And we have up to 15 inches of armor. Max is, well, almost max is on the belt. It looks like there might be a little bit more in the turret faces and the barbettes. Um, this ship is going to be very, very similar to Iowa. So just think about it that way. She has okay angling armor, but anything broadside, and you're going to be citadeled without a problem. As mentioned earlier, you have 16-inch guns. You have two triple 16-inch gun turrets in the fore and one in the rear. These guns are really, really accurate. They have the armor piercing and the MAP. Uh, Shell velocity is not terrible. It kind of can be trouble if you don't know how to use it, but once you get used to it, you should be okay with it. The base guns for the ship are actually the same ones you find on a Temeraire. So if you do find that you like Lion, this might be another ship you should look into because it's Lion plus another turret. And you do get access to high explosive, which is a lot of fun. Going back to Lion though, she has really good guns. Secondaries are nothing to remark about, honestly. Main guns, she got out to 22.8 kilometers. Secondaries out to 5. Like I said, she's really, really accurate. I do have all accuracy skills applied, or at least the module. Speed, she's fast at 30 knots. And she also has the ability to carry a fighter. I think she might be the only one that can actually carry a fighter. Let's take a look. Well, I know Dreadnought cannot, Iron Duke cannot, Queen Elizabeth cannot, Nelson, no, King George V, no, Lion, no. Yeah, she's the only tech tree British battleship that can actually equip the fighter. Cool. You have 3 of them. And then your AA, your anti-aircraft defense is actually pretty decent as well. Look at that mid-range damage. 238 DPS. I mean, the range isn't as good as it can be, but if you go for a full AA build instead of accuracy or anything else you'd like, she would be pretty powerful. However, I do think that there are other ships that would be best for that. Similar to my comments for King George V, you can make her full AA, but there's other ships that are better, like Missouri and Iowa. So it's really up to you, but she would not be bad as a full AA ship if you wanted. Maneuverability is unmatched, and like I said, she's just really, really fun. So, with that, let's toss into a game and see what we can do today. Alright, here we have ourselves a game. Looks like 5 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 1 destroyer, so no carrier, which is completely fine with me. And let's see, we're going to start with armor piercing, because I feel like we're going to get a couple broadside cruisers we can try and take out. We have an Alsace, a Lion, Missouri, an Iowa, and a Bismarck. I really don't understand the matchmaking behind Bismarck. It's the only lower tier ship, I guess you could say, that's tossed into like tier 9 and 10 battles, and I don't know why. It's certainly strong enough to be at those tiers and kind of not have a problem, but still, to have only just one ship in the game be tossed into tiers that high, there's something weird with it. Alright, so your gun rotation is meh. Like I said, I have focus for accuracy instead of gun rotation, so that's why. Your gun angles are not the best either. If you give this kind of broadside to an enemy, you will definitely be citadeled and quickly taken out of action. So we're just making our way down here. As you can see, the maneuverability is pretty solid. But you're able to go from hard over and all the way back and within a few seconds or so. So it's good for dodging long range gunfights and even torpedoes. And also angling back in to get your armor to a proper angle against an enemy after launching off a broadside. Alright, so we should be seeing ships occasionally. I have to get used to the shell velocity again, but I've been playing Temeraire quite a bit lately, so I should be able to be relatively okay with it. There's a war steam. Let's see if we can get some good damage on him. You do have to get quite a bit of lead. But that accuracy, man, it's unbeatable. Yep. 3 out of 6 hits at about 16 kilometers when I fired those. Alright, so we have, oh, well, I can't see it. Oh, I can't see anything. Alright, let's put a fighter up to spot. Ooh, a Minotaur. Alright, let's see if we can take out this Minotaur. Alright, not looking too bad. 23,000 damage, I'll take it. It's not like that's bad. But Worcester is going to come out and take down my aircraft, so let's bring her back in. We lost our destroyer. Look at the accuracy on that salvo. Amazing. Automatically deleted. Next. This is pretty much how you work. You just have super accurate salvos that you can just put as many shells as you need to into the enemy set. That's kind of a kill steal, but whatever. And it even works on battleships. You can get multiple citadels on battleships. I'm actually going to slow down here for a second, though, because I don't want to get too far ahead. Iowa and Missouri. Minotaur is going to go down, so let's see what we can do against this Iowa here. Try and angle for right under the turrets and get that Citadel for 38,000 damage, and that was 6 pens, 2 overpens, and 1 miss at about 10 kilometers. And I landed exactly where I was trying to shoot with almost every single shell. So yeah, this ship is definitely a good sniper. I'm kind of closer than sniping range, but that's just because I like to be closer to the fight than normal. Now the good thing about her MAP shells is that if she is at a range where her armor-piercing shells fail to do any considerable amount of damage, she can just switch right over and they should have no problem getting through that armor. It may not always be citadels, but it'll at least be penetrations instead of ricochets. 17,000 at that kind of angle. Yep. Let's see here, what else do we have? We have a Bismarck. I might be able to show the MAP on that Alsace though, so let's see what we can do about that. Let's switch over to MAP. Alsace is kind of giving us a better angle for armor piercing though. Regardless, I can show you what MAP does on a fully broadside target, or somewhat broadside. As you can see, there's quite a few shatters. If you have not used MAP before, it's best used on angled or bow on or stern on targets. Anything that is broadside like this Bismarck, once I fire it, you should be able to see that you will either get a bunch of shatters or just overpens. As you can see, there's 5 overpens. I mean, that actually was pretty good for damage, for at least MAP. Alright, so both of those ships went down. Let's see what we can do against this Bismarck, who is kind of giving us a good angle here now for MAP. Let's switch back to armor piercing now. So only one hit, but instead of ricochet or anything, it was a pen. Also, I didn't mention this before, but I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so that's why my health and speed are a little bit more than what I was telling you earlier. Now, waiting for this Bismarck to give us a better broadside target, like I expected. There we go. Just, you cannot beat the accuracy of the British battleship line. No matter how much you try, no other line can match it. And that's really one of its strong points. However, the turret rotation is not a strong point on this one right now. I just haven't put enough work into increasing that, or decreasing, I should say. So let's switch back over to MAP because this is an angle where I'm going to just ricochet. Yep, 5 ricochets with normal armor piercing. Right, now I need you to just not turn for the next 5 seconds. Alright, so as you saw, that was 5 ricochets with normal armor piercing, switching over to MAP, and you go right through the nose for 5 pens and 3 shadows. No ricochets there. So MAP is very effective against bow-in targets. I'm going to keep you there and work on the Bismarck now. Going to start using one of my super heals because I only have 3 of them. And that was actually pretty disappointing. I missed a bunch of my shells on that Bismarck, but it's whatever. I think we got a secondary kill, actually. That's funny. Alright, so let's see how we did. We had 249,000 damage, 4 ships sunk, 88 shell hits, 1 aircraft shot down, 6 citadels, 1 fire, 11 secondary hits for 1 over 5,000 base XP. Armor piercing was 249,000 damage, and then there was just barely a little bit from secondaries, but not enough to really count. So as you can see, you are really, really good. You're an extremely accurate ship, and you can land citadels on targets that are sailing in straight lines or don't have the best armor at considerable distances. So you can definitely use this to gain an advantage in a gun duel. She has enough AA to handle carriers okay. You will knock down some planes, however, if you are separated from a group, you will be singled out and focused and sunk. You're going up against tier 9 carriers, so Taiho, Audacious, and Essex, which are not really to be taken lightly, and they have a lot of aircraft. That being said, it is pretty decent AA. Secondaries, I mean, you're not a secondary ship at all. Your armor, if used properly, can be okay. However, just be careful of that broadside. Let me see if I can show you the Citadel. Citadel. Yeah, all of that is your Citadel, and it is above the waterline quite a bit. And you can even hit it from angles like this or angles like that. So you just have to keep track of where your ship is facing and what enemy guns can actually damage you. And then just kind of do what you can against it, just like any normal battleship. So with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And join me tomorrow while we go over L3, whereas I've renamed her Centurion and the sister ship Britannia, which is a very interesting ship in her own right. So again, thank you for watching and take care.